the color code I actually use for the event. So I want you to maintain the same color code. So hashtag 4C1313. Okay, 1313. So this is the color code I used for the event flyer I'm going to show you. So now the next thing is we just move straight and then drag in our backgrounds and few background. Okay, so just move straight to the resource. I have a city, just a tower in a city. So I love this background, so I just drag it inside our main our main document. So once the background loads, what you do is we just gonna set the blending option and then reduce the opacity. So let's just give it a time. It seems like my machine is in a bit down. I don't know, I've loaded it a lot, so let it drop. So you just hit on enter, then you click and then expand it a bit, drag it and position it at the side like this. Set it to overlay. All right, set it to overlay and then drag it corner at the top and increase the size a bit for me. So reduce the opacity. Okay, just reduce the opacity to about 20-25 and drag it on top of the city. Make sure it's on top of the city. Create a layer mask and then brush off these portions. All right, yes, brush off these portions. Okay, brush off these portions. So once you are done, just increase the opacity a bit like this and still position it at the corner. All right, something like this. So you can click on the city background once again and then feed the portions that cover the Christmas tree. All right, so this portion you can just clear it off a bit, something like this is okay. So now the next thing we are going to do is we are just going to drag in our various artists. So, or better still, we can just type the title of the event. So let's deal with the title first. So the main subject or the main theme of the event is Xmas Afro Jams. So you just click on the background, then you press T on your keyboard, click, and then the font we are going to use for this Xmas Afro Jam is, we are going to use a font called July 8 and then Aurora BT. So we use July 8 for the word Xmas. So just type in capital XMAS for the Xmas side. When you finish, just increase the size. Okay, increase the size, and then you are going to have something nice like this. It's very nice. I love this font a lot. So what you do is you can duplicate it by holding Control or Command G on your keyboard. Okay, so drag it on top of the background so that you have access to duplicate it easy. Control or Command G on your keyboard. All right, so this one, position it, reduce the size, and then let's change this one, the font, to I think Aurora BT. Yeah, this one. And then write Afro Jams. Okay, just write Afro Jams in caps, Afro Jams, something like this in caps, and reduce the size, position it at the middle like this, and then reduce the size once again. Okay, so now here we go. So once you have this Afro Jams, we can still apply a lot of colors or a lot of effects. So I want us to change the color. So you can use this color code. Let me give you this color code, hashtag FC. All right, just type FC, just type FC 8902. Yeah, I think let's add 2 to it. Yes, I love this color. And just to increase the duplicated layer, okay, just increase the duplicated layer and then stretch it, something like this. Okay, yeah, it's okay. And then hit on okay. Right, just go to the your marking tool and let's cut portions of the selected layer. So let's clear this particular portions off. All right, so rasterize the layer type first and then clear off these portions, and then let's clear this particular portion again, clear it. Okay, so you're going to have something like this. You get my point? So you can still increase it, give it a space a bit, something like this is okay for me. All right, so now this kind of a style. So if you see this and you're not careful, you may think it's a particular the font, that's just the nature of the font, but you yourself can apply more styles to the text you have on the screen. All right, so what you do next is you can group this thing together. Okay, just select them together, hit Control Command G on your keyboard to have access to, play with them together. You see, one was not added, so just drag it inside. You get my point? And then you can now drag them together. You can position them at the center by hitting Control Command A, and then you select center align. All right, we are good to go. So now let's move to the next part of the work. So what we are going to do next is let's duplicate this particular typography here, and so right click on it and clear layer style. You get my point? Drag it outside of the group because it's going to be a different section of the content on the flyer. So what you do is you reduce the size and then give it color white. So we click and give F6. Okay, hit OK. All right, press the F6 times. 1 2 3. I think 3 is even okay. So that's when your caps lock is on. So with this one we are going, so that is a PSV pub, and then you press enter and then you add the word pub. All right, but you close the gap. Okay, close the gap, come here a bit and then close the gap. This way is okay. You get my point? And now let's change the font to popping. Let's change the font to pop extra bold. So I have poppings here, and then we can use extra bold, reduce the size, and then position it at the top corner here. All right, just position at the top corner here. Somewhere here is okay. All right, yeah, somewhere here is okay. You can drag in and bring your title down a bit, yeah, so that it doesn't blend or it doesn't be in line with the host. So we have something like this. All right, so you can drag it down a bit, just create more. Yeah, you are just decorating it, so you can just draw some kind of rectangle behind it and give it a color. Maybe pick this color instead, and then I think it's showing neatly. All right, so click and then drag the same the same word, and then let's add the word present. So these people are presenting to us the event that we are designing. You get my point? So we will change the, I think that's the name of the font. Let me check. Yeah, that's cat calling demo. So let's use this font. I love this font, so you can maintain it here. I think the position is okay, so just maintain cat calling demo here. So the next thing we are going to do is let's drag in our artists. You get my point? Let's drag in our artists, our various artists, the subject artists and the other sub artists. So we are good to go. All right, we are almost there. So just click on the background and then let's move, or let's drag them on top of this triangle. That's all. So let's go to our resources. So first thing first, you drag in the artist number one, drag in, and then I position him at the center. Okay, he's the main subject, so just drag him here. All right, something like this is okay. Just hit on OK so that later you can work on it. You can reduce this particular Xmas jams word here, position it at the top. All right, and then we have our T's here. All right, we have our T's, dragging, and then yeah, we are good to go. We have more artists coming, so we are not going to give him all the space. You get my point? So what we are going to do is create a layer mask and then pick your brush tool. All right, we are just going to fade some portions because we are not giving him the whole space. So you just brush off, take your time and then brush off these particular portions. All right, so just take your time and then all these portions. All right, yeah, I think we are good to go. All right, yes, so you can drag him and then reposition him again, once again. Yeah, we are good to go. So the next artist, we bring the next artist inside. So for you to get accurate pictures, in case maybe there may be a mistake, so the moment you drag in the image, what you do is you hit Ctrl or Command J to duplicate the image, hide one image. So in case as you are fading and you have any challenge, you don't delete it and drag it again, you just pick the one that you hidden. That's all. So let's drag in our next artist. I think who is next? Let's drag in this gentleman here, the third one. I think let me drag him here, yeah, and then drag him beneath the main artist. Okay, so what I was trying to say is you hit Control Command G, duplicate it into 2, turn off 1. So in case you are fading and you have any challenge, you just go and pick it directly. That's what I mean. All right, so just drag in here and then position him somewhere here, yeah. And then what you do next is you create a layer mask and then brush portions of, right? So something like this is okay. Now let's go to the next artist and drag gentleman here, and then let's see what happens next. I think yeah, you have this gentleman here. So what you do is you can duplicate his photo into 2, take off 1 and then use 1. All right, so you use this particular one, create a layer mask and then fade the portions of, okay, just take your time and then do that. And then you can reduce the size a bit. Yeah, you can reduce the size a bit, yeah, because he is not the main subject. So we keep, move on to the next artist. I think they are about 6 or 7, so let's go to the next one. So we are working on this one and then that one. So right, yeah, beneath this man, I think, yeah, something, I want something like this, you get my point. So you can just hit Control Command G, duplicate it, take 1 off, create a layer mask for 1 and then let's brush him off. Yes, I want him to be hidden at the back like this. Yes, it's quite simple. So this way is going to be okay. All right, so now let's move into our resources, and I think we have this gentleman here. Yeah, let's drag in this gentleman. All right, here to drag him beneath, or let me see, just take your time, take your time and then do that. So and then I think we can reduce the size a bit. Yes, yeah, you can reduce the size a bit, yeah, and then reposition, because he's not the main subject, so well, we keep arrange, move on to the next. Thank you, something like this. I think his style has to show a bit, you know, he's folded in arms and then I think that kind of stuff, you get my point. So yes, then is on point. So you duplicate the image into 2, turn off the first one or the second one, create a layer mask and then fade off portions artists. That I think they are about the next artist. I think they are about 6 or 7. So let's go to the next one. So we are working on this one, and then that one. His photo of 1 and then use 1. All right. So you use the something. I want something, and then like all this, of them select. So you can just hit Control Command G, duplicate it, take 1 off from the first to the end, and group them. Control Command G.